Hi, and welcome to Tech Talk, the Bankers video series on everything fintech. I'm at Cyber London, or otherwise known as Cylon, which is cybersecurity startup accelerator here in the heart of London. I'm here with Brendan Diaz, CEO of ClearChat, an enterprise security platform for online communications. Brendan, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
Can you tell me a little bit about ClearChat and what you do?
Sure, so ClearChat is a secure chat and file sharing platform designed specifically for regulated businesses, so companies that handle healthcare, legal, finance, and also government defense. Now, the reason this is very relevant specifically to the banking industry is because according to a large study done by Mimecast, which is one of the largest cybersecurity firms in the world, actually used by a lot of banks here in the UK, up to 91% of all data breaches start at the communications layer. So it's an industry under attack, and this is how the bad guys are getting in. So what we do is a little bit different from our competitors. Today, thanks to high-profile attacks against Fortune 500 companies, governments, people like Hillary Clinton, we kind of inherently know that email is pretty insecure. But what people don't realize is that these very popular modern team collaboration tools like Slack and HipChat, Dropbox, even something like Skype for Business, they're using the exact same security methodologies as email, and they're equally insecure. So companies like Microsoft, Google, Slack, they actually have full access, the ability to decrypt their customers' data and information. And if they could do it, a motivated attacker can also get in. And so ClearChat was designed very differently from the ground up with the concept that our network, our servers, our employees are already compromised. There's a rogue employee working for ClearChat. Can he or she decrypt a customer message? And the answer is no. So we are immune to both the high sophistication and low sophistication attacks that plague email, plague Slack, phishing, spoofing, man-in-the-middle SSL attacks, et cetera.
Do you think that banks are aware of sort of the high-level threat that they're facing with online communication?
Absolutely, because specifically, another huge study by Raytheon, industry giant Raytheon, banks specifically are up to 300% more likely to be targeted even than a government agency. So banks are very much under attack, they know it, and they're under attack from the communication layer. So to give you an example, last year the $1 billion hack against 100 banks started with phishing and spoofing.
Okay, and how does ClearChat actually help banks with their compliance issues as well?
So another great question, because historically security apps, end-to-end encryption apps are great from a security standpoint, but they're a nightmare for your compliance team and for your regulators, because if it's so heavily encrypted, there's no access, there's no visibility to prevent things like money laundering, insider trading, et cetera. So again, from the ground up, ClearChat was built with these regulated industries in mind, built for a financial institution, and we provide a complete compliance suite for your chief compliance officer, as well as for your regulator. So in the US, FINRA, CFTC, SEC, et cetera, and we could meet all your compliance requirements set forth by the government.
Okay. And recently you open sourced ClearChat's code. Why did you do that?
I mean, honestly, trust. So we want our customers, we also want security researchers, but your InfoSec team, for example, to be able to know that we implemented the encryption properly. And also, honestly, because it's from our roots. So my co-founder and CTO, Jonathan Warren, he actually has been working on communication security cryptography for about a decade, but about 5 years ago, he released his first crypto product called BitMessage. And BitMessage is an open source tool from day one. And what that allowed was for security researchers, analysts, hackers to take a look at how it was written, to try to break it, essentially, and to build a tremendous amount of trust in the product itself. And so that's where we come from, that's our background. And this thing was featured in the Wall Street Journal and CNN. It was called NSA Proof on Bloomberg News. And we want to get to that level as well. So our end goal is to open source everything, actually. Okay.
And it's interesting. Obviously, there's been this huge buzz around blockchain. Do you think that blockchain is the answer to cybersecurity?
Well, that's a huge question. That's a loaded question. So the blockchain is fascinating for the financial industry for many perspectives. There's a lot of applications we'll see over the next few years. The cyber problem, if you will, is massive. By 2021, they estimate $6 trillion in losses to the global economy from cybercrime. There's so many different areas of this, whether it's detection or intrusion, that just aren't addressed by the blockchain. So while the blockchain has an innovative role to play in fintech, it's a consensus mechanism primarily, and it's not going to solve the cyber problem.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining us today, Brendan.
You're very welcome. Thank you.